So in this video, we will discuss about ERP, Enterprise Resource Planning. So we will discuss about what is ERP system and before ERP, how these business solutions are provided and how the ERP changes the entire scenario. So and what are the advantages or benefit of using this ERP system and what are the limitations of this ERP system and how that ERP you can implement your own ERP system for your business model. So what is ERP? So ERP is a software system that integrates core business process into a unified system. So this is a software which is used to integrate all your business processes into a unified system. So unified means it's a centralized framework. So that by using the centralized framework, you can able to manage all your business functions and you can able to automate all these business functions. So here the business functions are the supply chain, human resources, manufacturing, finance, all these things. So all these business process can be automated and can be managed in a centralized framework. So that is the actual meaning of ERP. So everything, this is a centralized framework by which you can able to do your workflow. So this is an integrated information system solution and this is an enterprise-wide system. So enterprise-wide system means that the unified system is working in all your functions, starting from that sales to the finance. So, and the most important thing is it uses a common database. Okay, so this is the core idea or heart of this ERP system. It uses a centralized database, and this is business process oriented. That means you can be able to develop unify your own ERP system based on your requirement. So this is purely based on your business process. And one more important thing is it allows configuration, not customization. So just you need to configure. So once you implement it and then you can be able to configure based on your changes or based on your requirements. Whenever the requirement is changed, your business requirement changed, then you need to just reconfigure the system. And these are the key features of ERP system. So it uses a centralized database. So the centralized database, the core idea behind this is all the departments can able to access the same real-time information. So real-time information, for example, in a sales department, they receive some request from the client and they update that request in the centralized database. The same request can be viewed by all the department. For example, a production department. So once the request, the production department get that request, then they can able to start the production. So once the logistic department view it, then they can able to start the delivery process. So the real-time system is accessible everywhere. That is the core idea of this centralized database. And it is an integrated process. So integrated means the workflows are linked across different functions. So the same thing. Once a customer request is received, then the request can be viewed by the production department, and the production department find no item is available. Then they need to start the production, and for the production they will check for the inventory. Inventory means the raw material, availability of the raw material. If the raw material is not available, then they will update it in the system. So once they updated the requirement for the raw material, then the material management department will start procurement of the raw material from the vendor. So once they received it, then it will be updated in the centralized database. So once it is updated, the production department can be able to start their work. So this all the workflows are linked at the different function level. And then real-time data sharing. So the data are saved in a real-time manner. So there is no need for the sales department update their data in their own server. And after that, periodically they have to send that information to the production department, and production department update their database periodically. And once they update it, then periodically they have to send it to the other department. There is no need for such things. So this is a real-time data sharing. And automation. So it reduces the manual interventions and it increases efficiency. So increases efficiency means the delay, the overall delay is reduced, and the cost is reduced. Then functional cost is reduced. So if the delay and functional cost is reduced, then automatically increases the profit. And this is how that business process works before ERP and after with this ERP. So in the before ERP, from the diagram you can able to view all the functional areas like sales, production, logistic, billing. So they have their own independent systems, so independent environment. So they have their own resources, and then all the reports, all the informations are only updated in their system. So sales department update the sales related information in that system, and then production department update their production related information in their own system. And if the production department needs some sales related information, means they have to request that data to the sales department, and the sales department will give it to them. So this is the traditional information system, how the traditional information system works. There is no integrated workflow, and there is no dynamic sharing of information. So here in the ERP, so we have a centralized database. So in SAP, it is called the master data. So in the centralized database, all the functional areas, they have access to the database. So based on their role, they can able to update the data, or they can able to view the data. Is this purely based on the role? But whatever information is required for a particular department, so they can able to get it from the database. So that is the biggest advantage of the ERP. So it automatically, so our main aim of any business is to increase the profit. So this centralized database access will give you that benefit. Why means, so before ERP, so there are a lot of delays for sharing the information. So sales department says their information to the production department. It makes some delay. Once the customer send the request, first the sales department process it, and then they will update it in their own database. And when the production department's request, then only they will give it to the production department. So it make delays during your process. But here the delay is minimized. And here we may miss some orders because of that integration. So the manual intervention between the departments. But here there is no such manual intervention is needed. So it will be automatically updated. Real-time data is automatically updated in the centralized database. So the data can be dynamically accessed. So there is no chance for missing any orders. So both these two advantages automatically increase your overall efficiency. And this is why ERP important. So main thing is ERP provides a streamlined operation. So it simplifies and standardizes your business process. So all the operations are streamlined. So we need not, with the means that manual interventions, manual interactions are reduced. Okay, that is the first important thing. And improved decision making. So in the ERP, we have a centralized database. Suppose you are running a business, the nationwide business, but you have branches in different cities. You have branch in Chennai, you have branch in Mumbai, you have branch in Bangalore. So all these branches are integrated into your system, into your business model only. Suppose the main branch, so want to increase the profit of one particular branch, Chennai. So before that, the main branch, without intervening to the Chennai branch office, they can able to collect the report so related to the Chennai branch. For example, sales report. So in the last 6 months, how much sales is happened in Chennai branch. So before ERP, so that main branch manager has to inquire that information to the Chennai branch, and Chennai branch will collect that information and then send the report to the main branch. That a delay. It creates a delay. But here the main branch of manager can able to directly get that report from the centralized database. So for the last, they can apply any kind of filters. So for the last 6 months, how much profit is earned by the Chennai branch. So from that report, they can identify whether Chennai branch gives a expected profit or not. If it doesn't gives the expected profit, then they can further analyze which product is performing good and which product is not performed. So based on that analysis, they can increase the production of the item which sold better, and they can reduce the production of the item which is sold less. So that kind of decision making can be done quickly. That is improved decision making. So every data is available in your hand, and you need to just analyze it. You need to prepare a report from the data, and all the data are the real-time data. So current data you have in your hand, you can able to generate any kind of report, and based on the report, you can able to take any decisions. So that is improved decision making. That is the most important benefit of any ERP system. So and then enhanced productivity. So why the productivity is enhanced means minimize the error. As I already told you, there is no delay can be reduced, and there is less chance for miss any orders. So that decreases the chance of error, and then the decision making is quick and decision making is accurate. So these things will enhance your productivity. So and then cost saving. So here it reduces the duplication of tasks and optimizes the resource utilization. So duplication of tasks, the same task. So before ERP, so everything should be done manually. So the same task should be repeatedly done by different departments. There is a chance, but here the data, real-time data is updated in the database, centralized database. So no need for duplication of data in a different databases by different entities. So it reduces the duplication of tasks, and the resource utilization is optimized. So it automatically cut the cost. It saves the cost lost money, a lot of money to your business. Okay. Finally, these are the advantages and disadvantages of ERP. So advantages, the first one is, the biggest advantage is centralized system. As I already told you, the centralized systems ensures the consistent data availability across the organization. So and then scalability. So since you have a unified system, so all your business processes are integrated into their unified system. Suppose if you want to grow your business, so you want to open a new branch in a new city. So you need not to allocate a separate resources, information related resources for your new branch. Your work is just integrate that branch into a existing unified system. Just create a new records, a new instances for this new branch in the already existing unified system. That is simplest way of growing your business model. The scalability. Scalability is much more compared to the traditional information system. So, and then as I told you, the decision making improved and accurate decision making and integration of business processes. So, integration of business processes is very easy compared to the information system. Here, all the business process can be integrated in a more efficient way. These are the advantages of this ERP system, and the ERP system also has its own disadvantages. But all these disadvantages are at the starting level. So while start your business process, so you have to invest a lot of money. So for implementing that unified system, it requires more cost. Implementation is costly. So and then the implementation not only costly, it is much more complex related compared with the traditional information system. So because why it is very complex means, so here we are going to minimize the human intervention. Everything should be automated. So you have to plan carefully. So that centralized database, that unified system should be planned more carefully, and the implementation also requires a very more and complex implementation. So initially, while implementing your unified system, it is more complex. So investment is very high and the implementation is more complex. So once you implement that complex unified system, and then you need to give training, proper training to your employees. So training is also needed. So only trained, because this is an integrated system. So if any one functional area did mistake, then it will affect the entire business process. So if the sales department employee, so he don't have any training on that ERP system, unified system, then he may made some mistakes. Then the data is corrupted, because the same data is used by all the remaining functional areas. So once it is corrupted, then it will affect the entire business process. So the training for the employee is needed. So these are the three disadvantages of ERP, but these are only at the starting stage, initial stage of your implementation. So once it is implemented and you give a proper training to the employee, then it will run smoothly and it will give you all the benefits. Most importantly, the profit can be improved. And how to prepare for the ERP implementation. So one of the most successful ERP platform, everyone heard about that SAP, SAP, SAP. So SAP is the one of the example for this ERP uh, software model. So before implementing any kind of ERP software, first you need to assess your needs. That means your business requirement. So once that requirements are identified, then you need to clearly set the objectives. So objective, based on the objective only, you can able to get the outcome. So if you want to improve the profit, your objectives should be clearly defined based on the outcome. So the objectives can be defined only based on the requirements. So these are the most important planning stage. So and then next vendor selection is nothing but stakeholders. Vendors are one stakeholder who is providing you the raw materials that is needed for your production. So your business model have lot of this kind of stakeholders. So you need to identify all the stakeholders. Once everything is done, requirement, objectives, stakeholders, then you need to implement your business that unified system. Once you implement it, then you have to give a training for the employees. Once the employees are fully trained, then you can deploy your system and you can start operate operation so operate it, and a periodical monitoring is required. So this is the way how a efficient ERP system should be implemented for your business model. So as I already told you, SAP is the most successful ERP business model. And in the upcoming videos, we will cover the SAP Ferrari app. So one of the uh, front-end tool for SAP system. So and then we will cover about ABAP, advanced business application programming. So by which that SAP softwares can be implemented. So this is the programming language by which SAP interfaces, SAP applications are implemented. So we will cover the basics, how to implement basics ABAP programming language. So and then the SAP also provide many analytical tools, SAP predictive analysis. So that means for generating the reports. So I will try to cover that predictive analysis tools also. Thank you.